Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, my name is Milan. I help people set up their Airbnb listing, teach them about practical issues and matters on Airbnb businesses, and basically help people thrive on Airbnb, and I enjoy doing this very much. This is part 2 of the continuation of the first video that I made, which was how to create an Airbnb listing, and today we will be covering calendar, availability, and check-in, which are very important matters of your process on Airbnb. So without further ado, we're going straight into it. Considering the fact that you have already created your Airbnb listing, and if you haven't, please refer to my first video, which is how to create your Airbnb listing. You are going to be on this page, and you will be going to your account. And when you are in your account, this will be presented to you, and you will switch to hosting, which is what you want to do. So once you've created your listing, which again, if you haven't, go back to my first video, you will go to your calendar. And of course, if you have several listings, then you will have to select one of those listings, and the calendar will be set to one of those listings. Now you will notice that I here have this icon, which is red instead of a cursor, instead of an arrow. And that is because my listing has been unlisted. And that is of course the case if you followed my tutorial from first to last minute. So if this is the case, as it is with me, how you are going to change this is by going to the menu, listings, clicking on this one. And you're going to, first of all, turn off the instant booking, and I will tell you why in a second, because this is explained also here, that guests who meet all your requirements can book instantly, and others will need to send a reservation request. And you can cancel 100% penalty free if you're ever uncomfortable with a reservation. Now, what does instant booking mean? It means that once you set a certain criteria that your potential guests need to fulfill in order to book your place without even asking you a single question. They can just find your listing, your apartment, your house on Airbnb, and they can click and they can say, after they booked, hi, I'm coming on this and that date. They don't even need to communicate with you. You can only arrange the minuscule details later, but they don't have to even write anything to you. They can just have access to your listing and book it instantly. That's what this means. When the instant book option is on, this means that guests will have access and the right to book your listing instantly. And the requirements that are mentioned here are here. If you scroll down from the instant booking, you will find that the instant booking guest requirements are a government issued ID, host recommendation, and pre-booking message. You can tick all of these, and the message is the message that you will write that will be sent out to the guest. So the guest will have to read and respond to the message before they confirm the reservation, which I think is a fantastic thing because you can write practically anything. Hi, I need you to read this. And that is a fantastic way for you to also protect yourself. Now I'm going to give you a practical tip, which I usually share with my clients. And this is a service that I provide for them personally, but I'm going to give this to you publicly because I think this is going to save you a lot of headache. And that trick is the following. When you write in your description, in your message, or in your even listing description, but I think this is perfect because the pre-booking message will be sent to the guest automatically. I think that once this is what I do. Once you've written tons of text, like blah, 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 and so on, for a very, very good time, when you get to the bottom of the message, I suggest you do the following. You do this. In order for me to confirm that you've read the message, please start your message with, and you put whatever you want. Or you can ask them a question. Like you can answer a question for me, such as, what is your favorite color? Or what is your philosophy in life? But for me, what I like to do is, in order for me to confirm that you've read the message, please start message or your message to me with hola, for example. Now, what will happen then? If the person read this message fully from A to Z, the first thing they're gonna do when they get in touch with you is they're gonna write hola. And this is how you know that you're communicating with a guest that has taken their time, that is communicating with you, and that is actually interested in your listing, and it is a mature, you can assume that they're a mature person that have your highest interest as part of theirs, and therefore it's a good start, at least for me, because I have had very good guests come to my apartment, not this one, but previous ones, that really respected this rule, and it usually was a very good start of communication. So I suggest that you do exactly this. Now back to the calendar and back to unlisting your apartment. All of these can be active. I suggest you have them on. But as I said, in this case, I'm going to turn instant booking off because I'm only using this apartment to demonstrate, and I'm not going to use this apartment to host guests currently. Turn instant booking off. I want more control over who can book. Continue. Yes. And of course, these are if you choose to have instant booking off, Airbnb will offer you many options, and make sure that you do have it on, because it is good to have it, because you can also increase your sales and you can increase your bookings. But this is just to make sure that you read all these, and Airbnb can be sometimes annoying with this, but it is what it is. You just do it because that's what works best for you. And I'm giving you what should work best for you, because this is what works best for me, and I don't assume that's the right way, but we do it anyway. So now that the instant booking is off, again, you can breathe, because you can now list your apartment. And when your apartment is listed, you can save that. And now that it is listed, as you can see here, you can go to your calendar, which is right here. So you click on your calendar, and here, as you can see, this is today's day, and these are all the dates that are available to be booked. If you click on any of these dates, you can see that you can make it blocked here, but now it is available. So for example, if you want this particular date that you clicked on, if you want it unavailable, if you want it blocked, and I warmly suggest that you take some days off when you have guests, because it can be very stressful to have guests all the time unless you really make a good business out of it. I really suggest that you do this. So when you go and you click the X here, assuming you're on your computer, then you will see that this has changed. You have these lines here, and guests won't be able to book this date. And you can breathe. At the same time, you can click to any other date, and you can adjust the nightly price for that day. You can put, for example, $8.50, and you can save that. Or if you want to offer people, for example, a weekend discount, you can select these two by holding Control if you're using Windows. So Control doesn't work. I'm holding Shift, left Shift. I clicked here, and I'm holding left Shift, and I'm clicking here. So both are selected. You can do the same for more, but I'm using it like this. And when these two are now selected, you can choose and set nightly price to, let's say, $800 if you want to give people a discount, or for example, if you want to charge people more, which I suggest if it's the weekend, then you can put $1,200, and you can save that. And as you can see, the price here has been changed automatically to 1,200 Swedish kronas in this case, which is equivalent to 120 euros. Another very important thing is going into the calendar and seeing that there is an option when you go to menu and when you go to your listing, and when you click on your listing, there is a session called pricing and availability. And this section is very, very important. You can also turn on an option which is called nightly price, or pardon me, smart pricing. When you find smart pricing, you will see that the price, when you click on this, will be adjusted based on the demand of such apartments in your area. So if you click on this, you will see that you can set a minimum price, which for example, in my case would be 800, and maximum price 15 or 1400. So based on the demand, and if it's high season, Airbnb will automatically present a certain price to guests. And just so you know, if you use smart pricing, and this is something that is not emphasized in this area, if you use smart pricing, Airbnb will deduct a certain amount of your booking, which means you are going to make more long term, but Airbnb will deduct a small fee, I think maybe in the first or second booking, or maybe all bookings, I'm really not sure, but I suggest that you do your own research and you adjust your own prices. So I'm going to turn off smart pricing. And you can select your currency. In my case, I live in Sweden, so the currency is Swedish kronas. You can also provide discounts for your guests, depending if they're renting for a week, a month, or a custom length of stay. Last minute or early bird discounts. Now, when it comes to last minute discounts, I am not quite certain that's a good idea, because I like to prepare myself for my guests so that they can arrive. And in that regard, there is another section, and it's a genius aspect that Airbnb has, and I'm going to show you that in a few minutes, of how you can actually save yourself the energy, and you don't have to worry if someone writes you on the same day or one day before and you have to stress about new guests coming, because that won't happen, because there is an option that Airbnb has that you can select that prevents that. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So if you keep scrolling down, you're going to find calendar availability section, and there is this advance notice. And this is game changer for people who want to create their own businesses on Airbnb, and who want to really be successful, and who have very good schedule, and who respect their own calendar and availability. What does this mean? Advance notice means that if you click, that people have at least a certain amount of days notice. So for example, if you click on 2, you will have an illustrated picture here that shows that people cannot book instantly if their trip starts within 2 days, but they can still send you a request to book so that you have that space. They cannot book instantly, so you don't have to worry about that. They can send you a request that you can always decline for whatever reason. So if your booking is on the 11th, like it's emphasized here, and the person, the guest, the potential guest writes you on the 10th or 11th, they won't be able to book instantly. And don't forget, if you have instant booking off, they won't be able to book it anyway. So in this case, you can even choose 7 days and people won't be able to book instantly in that period, which means you can breathe. So in my case, when I rent, I usually have 1 day's notice and I can breathe safely. And we're gonna save that and move on. Preparation time. This is also a very, very good feature, because in the same time that your preparation for the guest and your alone time is important before the guests come, so is your time after your guests come, because you won't be able to thrive in this business and in this industry unless you have peace of mind that you can actually settle in your apartment and clean or do whatever you need to do before next guests come. Preparation time is a mechanism that allows you to block 1 or 2 nights before and after each reservation. And this is fantastic, because when you click this, again, if a person books, let's say, only the 11th, as shown here, 9th, 10th, 12th, and 13th will be blocked. So that means you will have 4 days just for yourself if the person is coming on the 11th. Let's assume that you have a high cost rental. So if the person books your apartment or place and you really need to lay low or you need to rest for a few days, this is the perfect option for you. Do not forget that at the same time, the moment a person books in advance, you can go back to the calendar, find that reservation. Let's say that it's on the 11th, as I showed in the example. And you can always, if the person comes on the 11th, let's just do this, assuming that someone books, you can automatically select 12th, 13th, and you can block them or put them as unavailable yourself, because then you won't even receive a request for booking because people will see that these dates are just not available for booking. And then you can do all this yourself. You don't have to have this option available because you will be able to do this on your own. So moving on, back to the apartment, pricing and availability. Let's see, so I have been going on for 15 minutes now, and the last thing I'm going to explain in this video is calendar availability and the last part of that, which is availability window and restricted check-in days. So we went through advance notice and preparation time. Now we discuss the availability window. What does this mean? This means that your listing, from the moment it's published, it is available as it's written here, 12 months in advance. If you put all future dates, that means that people can book, for example, as seen here. If today is 2022, people can book all the way into 2025. Just please be mindful that I would personally not recommend this, because the best option is a foreseeable future or something that feels safe for you and that feels good for you, because we never know what's going to happen. So for me, it's actually 6 months in advance when I host. And yes, until January next year is perfect. So if you keep it on 6 months, if you keep it controllable and that you can actually review it and you don't have to think so far in the future, I think that is perfect. You can also sync your calendar. There's calendar sync option. You can import your calendar and then open it with your phone, and then it can automatically download into your schedule, your Google Calendar. It can be synced automatically, so you don't have to worry about. You can just check your calendar. It's a really, really good option. And the final thing is restricted check-in days. If for any reason you have a fixed routine and schedule, and if you are a successful businessman, you probably do, you can block any date or day rather by default. So you can click on either of the days of the week. If you, for example, for me, it's usually Friday. Fridays are the days that I really want them for myself. And if you click on Friday and save it, yes. So if you check this option, if you check the restricted check-in days, then the guests won't be able to book your place if the stay starts on these days. So they can book Friday if Friday is their checkout day. So for example, if they book Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then they check out on Friday. And in that case, that will be approved. But if you select Friday, your guests won't be able to arrive or check in on Friday. So that is something that gives you room to breathe. In the next video, I'm going to cover trip length, which is very important if you want to plan your time and organize your calendar better, additional charges, cleaning fee, pet fee, and extra guest fee, which is very important, and other very juicy stuff. So please keep updated, like, share, subscribe so that more people can see this. I really enjoy sharing this with you because I'm giving you tips that are highly beneficial and that helped me build a very successful Airbnb business. I'm not promoting this because I already have a very juicy chunk of business for myself and I make a really good life for myself. And I just want to share this with people because this is something so beautiful, because this allows you to make money literally from owning your home and allowing people to be guests in your home and building wonderful friendships and connections. And since a part of me thinks that we're losing that, as the more we progress as humanity, the more I'm I would like to see more of this. So thank you so much for your time. As I said, if this is useful to you, please comment, please like it so that more people can see it and share it with others, because this is something that I've been compiling for 5 years and I only hope that it serves well for you and to you. And I'll see you in the next video, so please stay tuned. And until then, take care and good luck with your Airbnb listing. Bye.